Did you know that in Oregon there's a lake so deep it formed inside a volcano that exploded more than 7,000 years ago? Or that on the Pacific's quietest nights, ghost ships have been seen gliding along the coast, only to vanish as if swallowed by the sea itself? And that deep within its mountains, strange lights appear without a source, voices echo through the wind, and compasses simply stop working. Oregon isn't just a state, it's a land of living enigmas, breathing legends, and landscapes that seem to have a consciousness of their own. So get ready, because you're about to learn 50 incredible facts about Oregon that will forever change the way you see this place. Let's start with fact number 50, the official state nut. Oregon is the only US state that has an official nut, the hazelnut, also called the filbert. In fact, nearly 99% of the commercial crop of US hazelnuts comes from Oregon. So while many states pick birds or flowers, Oregon picked a nut, and a very flavorful one. If you ever snack on filberts, you're basically sampling official state produce. 49. No sales tax on everything. Here's a sweet for shoppers fact. Oregon has no general state sales tax. That means when you buy stuff, you don't get hit with the same kind of state tax you'd see in many other states. It doesn't mean you pay zero tax in all cases, but that standard retail sales tax is absent. For bargain hunters, yes, this is a perk. 48. The flag on both sides. Oregon's state flag is unique among US states. It bears a different design on its obverse and reverse sides. One side shows the state seal, the other a beaver. That makes the flag doubly interesting. Flip it over and you're looking at a whole new design. 47. The deepest lake in the US, Crater Lake in Oregon, is the deepest lake in the United States, plunging to an incredible depth of about 1,149 feet, nearly 594 meters. Formed roughly 7,700 years ago after the eruption and collapse of Mount Mazama. This sapphire blue basin is filled entirely by rain and snowmelt. No rivers feed it and none drain from it. Its astonishing clarity, often exceeding 100 feet of visibility, makes it one of the purest natural lakes on Earth. The deep blue hue comes from its exceptional cleanliness and depth, which absorb all colors of sunlight except blue. Visitors can hike, take boat tours to Wizard Island, a volcanic cone within the lake, or simply admire the mesmerizing view from Rim Drive, where the lake seems almost unreal against the surrounding cliffs and forests. 46. The deepest canyon in North America. On the Oregon-Idaho border lies Hell's Canyon, the deepest river gorge in North America, reaching over 7,900 feet deep. That means if you stood at the rim and dropped a stone, it would feel like you're staring into some serious depth. Before continuing, be sure to subscribe to discover hidden stories and curiosities about every US state that no one else will tell you. 45. The largest organism on Earth lives here. In the far eastern woods, Oregon is home to a massive fungus colony of the species Armillaria ostoyi, honey mushroom, covering multiple square miles and weighing many tons, and often considered the largest living organism on Earth by area. It's not something you see with one glance, but you're walking over it. 44. A coin toss named a major city. When it came to naming the city of Portland, Oregon, back in 1845, two early settlers, Asa Lovejoy from Boston, Massachusetts, and Francis Pettygrove from Portland, Maine, couldn't agree on what to call their new town. Each wanted to honor their respective hometowns, so rather than argue endlessly, they decided to settle it with a simple coin toss. Pettygrove's luck won the day, and Portland became the official name. The famous Portland penny used in that toss still exists and is preserved at the Oregon Historical Society Museum. It's fascinating to think that such a major American city, now known worldwide for its creativity, coffee, and culture, owes its name entirely to a chance flip of a coin, a one that changed history with a single spin in the air. The beaches can't be privatized. In Oregon, a state law ensures that the shoreline remains public. You can't privatize the entire beachfront so that people are shut out. That means a certain stretch of coast is always open for public access. For travelers and adventurers, that means more freedom. 42. The smallest park in the world. In downtown Portland sits Millends Park, officially recognized by the Guinness World Records as the smallest city park in the world, measuring just 2 feet across, about 0.6 meters meters and occupying a tiny traffic median, it's easy to miss if you're not looking for it. Yet, despite its size, the park has a surprisingly big personality. It was created in 1948 by journalist Dick Fagan, who planted flowers in an empty light pole hole outside his office window and called it a park for leprechauns. Over the years, it's hosted tiny decorations, miniature holiday displays, and even mock protests for leprechaun rights. Locals take pride in its quirky charm, a symbol of Portland's playful spirit and love for the unusual. In a city full of green spaces, Mill End's Park proves that even the smallest patch of earth can make people smile. 41, a state birthday on Valentine's Day. Oregon officially entered the Union on February 14th, 1859. Yes, Valentine's Day. So when you think of hearts and roses, throw in a nod to Oregon's statehood. The coincidence gives the Beaver State a romantic twist that no other state can claim. Every February 14th, while much of the country celebrates love and friendship, Oregonians also honor their heritage, reflecting on the pioneers who carved out a life between the mountains and the sea. Statehood Day festivities often include historical reenactments, parades, and school events that remind residents of Oregon's journey from rugged territory to thriving state. It's as if Oregon was destined to be loved, both for its stunning landscapes and for its symbolic connection to a day dedicated to affection. A truly heartfelt birthday in every sense of the word. 40. More ghost towns than just about anywhere. Oregon is home to more ghost towns than almost any other state, a haunting legacy of gold rush dreams, frontier shifts, and the relentless march of modernization. From the high desert to the forested valleys, these forgotten settlements whisper stories of miners, merchants, and families who once built thriving communities in the wilderness. Many of them were abandoned when mines ran dry, railroads rerouted, or resources dwindled. Today, explorers can wander through weathered saloons, creaking schoolhouses, and collapsing barns that stand frozen in time. Places like Sheniko, Golden, and Sumter serve as open-air museums of Oregon's restless past. Each ghost town tells a different tale of ambition, hardship, and the fragile balance between prosperity and decline. For travelers with a sense of adventure, Oregon's ghost towns are living reminders of how swiftly history can fade into silence. 39. One-way streets pioneer. In Eugene, Oregon, city planners pioneered one-way streets, early urban planning moves that shaped how traffic moves in American cities. It's a subtle fact, but one that reveals roots of how this state's urban infrastructure evolved. 38. Home to the world's largest bookstore. In Portland, you'll find Powell's Books, the world's largest independent bookstore, occupying a full city block and housing over 1 million books, a paradise for book lovers and a sign of the unique cultural fabric here. 37. Oregon's beaches have huge dunes. Oregon Dunes National Recreation Area features some of the largest coastal sand dunes in North America, with dunes reaching up to 500 feet above sea level. If you thought sandy beaches were just flat stretches, some parts of Oregon will surprise you. 36. The state has no general sales tax. Twice sweet. I mentioned the absence of a state sales tax earlier, but here's the kicker. Many folks don't realize just how rare that is for the US. It makes shopping there unexpectedly pleasant, a nice little bonus for residents and visitors alike. 35. Oregon has a cathedral of ice you can explore. Deep within the Oregon Caves National Monument lies a hidden marvel, a natural marble cave often called the Cathedral of Ice during winter months. When temperatures drop, icicles form on the ceilings and walls, creating shimmering chandeliers of frozen water. The cave's natural limestone and marble surfaces amplify the effect, reflecting light from headlamps to make the formations glow almost ethereally. Unlike commercial ice caves elsewhere, this one is entirely natural, untouched, and accessible via guided tours. Visitors can walk through winding passages, admire stalactites and stalagmites dusted with frost, and feel like they've stepped into a hidden, frozen world beneath Oregon's forests. It's a perfect example of how the state combines geology, climate, and a touch of mystery into a memorable adventure that few travelers ever expect. 34. The State Nut Fact Deep Dive. Yes, we threw the state nut up in Fact 50, but dig deeper. Oregon not only grows almost all the US commercial hazelnuts, but the trees can reach 30 to 40 feet tall. They're single-trunked, unlike wild hazelnuts, and they are officially honored as a symbol of the state. So next time you snack on hazelnuts, you're basically biting into Oregon. 33. A flag with beaver pride. The back side of Oregon's flag shows a beaver, the state animal. The fact that the one flag has two distinct sides, one beaver, one seal, is rare. That beaver side is a fun nod to the animal that used to be central to Oregon's economic and ecological identity. 32. A city of more breweries than most places. Portland, Oregon, proudly wears the crown of craft brew capital with a beer culture that's as creative as it is prolific. The city has, at various times, claimed to have more breweries per capita than anywhere else on Earth, and it's easy to see why. From riverside taprooms to converted warehouses filled with stainless steel tanks, the city's passion for brewing runs deep. Portland's brewers experiment with everything from piney Northwest hops to wild yeast harvested from local fruit orchards. Each neighborhood seems to have its own signature brew, often paired with artisan food trucks and live music. Annual festivals like the Oregon Brewers Festival and Portland Beer Week celebrate this liquid art form. Whether you prefer a bold IPA, a smooth stout, or a quirky sour, Portland has a pint that tells the story of its laid-back, innovative spirit. 31. The only place where you can't pump your own gas, until recently. For many years, Oregon forbade drivers from pumping their own gas in most places. You always had someone pump it for you. It's a quirky regulation not found in most states. That makes it a travel oddity worth noting. 30. Land of the llama. Sort of. Yes, this might sound wild. About 1/4 of the US llama population is in Oregon. If you ever take a rural driving route and see llamas grazing, you might faintly be on llama watch. Oregon's diversity extends even into the unusual. 29. A natural playground of every terrain. From snow-dusted volcanoes to arid high desert to lush rainforests, Oregon packs an astonishing diversity of geological and ecological zones. Imagine going from dunes to volcanic peaks to river gorges, all within one state. 28. Urban forest right in the city. In Portland, there's Forest Park, one of the country's largest municipal urban forest reserves, covering more than 5,100 acres and home to miles of hiking trails, right in a major city. If you want to go from skyscrapers to forest in 10 minutes, this state offers that option. 27. Beaches that stretch for miles and dunes that rise for hundreds of feet. We talked dunes earlier, but the coastline itself is long, rugged, and dramatic. Not just flat sand and waves, but tall sand ridges, sea stacks, forest meets beach. The combined effect is radically scenic. 26. A variety of volcanoes and lava fields. The Cascade Range slices right through Oregon, creating a dramatic skyline filled with volcanic peaks that have shaped both the landscape and the state's adventurous spirit. Towering above them all is Mount Hood. At 11,239 feet, a snow-capped icon that dominates the horizon and attracts climbers year-round. But Oregon's volcanic wonders don't stop there. Central Oregon is a geological playground of ancient lava flows, cinder cones, and surreal rock formations. The area around Newberry Volcano and the lava lands near Bend look so otherworldly that NASA once used them to train astronauts for moon missions. Visitors can walk over hardened rivers of basalt, peer into vast volcanic craters, and even explore lava tubes that snake beneath the surface. This rugged terrain, shaped by fire and time, offers a humbling glimpse into Earth's raw power, and proves that Oregon's beauty is as ancient as it is untamed. 25. The first scenic highway in the US. The Columbia River Gorge and the route through it are often cited as one of the first, if not the first, scenic highways in the United States, which means road trippers, you might want to add that drive to your bucket list. 24. Waterfalls that could star in a movie. Oregon has over 230 officially recognized waterfalls, and many more unnamed ones tucked away in forest canyons. Multnomah Falls is the tallest, at 620 feet, cascading in 2 major drops. Its appearance is so cinematic that it's often used as a stand-in for fantasy movie landscapes. Whether you're on a road trip along the Columbia River Gorge or hiking through Silver Falls State Park, you'll see water flowing almost everywhere. 23. A lava tube you can walk through. In Central Oregon lies Lava River Cave. the state's longest known continuous lava tube, stretching over a mile long. It formed thousands of years ago from molten lava flows that cooled on the outside while still moving inside, leaving behind a tunnel. Visitors can walk through it today with flashlights and jackets. It's always cool inside, even on summer days. It's like hiking into the frozen veins of a volcano. 22. The Wallowa was Oregon's Alps. The Wallowa Mountains in northeastern Oregon are sometimes called the Alps of Oregon for their steep granite peaks and clear glacial lakes. Towering nearly 10,000 feet high, they're stunning and remote, surrounded by vast valleys. It's not unusual for travelers to compare the landscape to Switzerland's charm, except with more elk and far fewer tourists. 21. The mysterious Vortex Town in southern Oregon near Gold Hill. There's a place called the Oregon Vortex, a roadside attraction famous for its strange optical illusions. Visitors swear brooms stand upright, balls roll uphill, and people appear to shrink or grow depending on where they stand. Scientists call it perspective distortion, but it still draws curiosity seekers who want to test gravity for themselves. 20. A desert that gets snow. Yes, Oregon actually has a desert, the Alvord Desert, and it's one of the most striking dry lake beds in the US. The twist? It sometimes gets snow in winter. The flat, cracked earth stretches for miles, surrounded by towering peaks, including Steens Mountain. This unusual mix of desert and cold weather confuses first-time visitors who picture Oregon as eternally green and rainy. On 19, the tallest peak. Mount Hood. Mount Hood isn't just a postcard perfect volcano. It's also Oregon's highest point, standing at 11,239 feet. On clear days, it's visible from downtown Portland. The mountain has 12 named glaciers and snowfields, making it a year-round playground for skiers and climbers. It's also considered one of the most climbed peaks in North America because of its accessibility, though its changing weather can make it unpredictable. Near 18, a lake that never fills or drains. Hidden deep within the Mount Hood National Forest lies Lost Lake, a natural mystery that seems to defy logic. Every spring, as the snow melts and fills the basin, the lake begins to quietly vanish, its waters slipping away through unseen cracks in the ground. Beneath the surface lies a maze of ancient lava tubes, formed by volcanic activity thousands of years ago. These porous tunnels act like nature's drain pipes, swallowing the water and carrying it underground, where it likely feeds aquifers or resurfaces elsewhere in the forest. By late summer, the once full lake bed turns into a dry meadow, often dotted with tree stumps and wildflowers. Then, with winter's return, the cycle begins again. The basin fills, only to empty once more. Scientists understand the geology, but the effect still feels magical, as if Oregon's landscape performs its own quiet illusion, reminding us that nature always has the final say in the show. 17. Home to the shortest river in the world. The Dee River in Lincoln City stretches only about 120 feet long during high tide, officially earning the Guinness title as one of the shortest rivers in the world. It connects Devil's Lake to the Pacific Ocean, more like a big stream than a river. Locals joke that if you blink, you might walk across it without realizing you've just crossed a river. 16. The only state with a two-sided flag. Just to revisit how unique that flag is, Oregon stands alone in having two completely different sides. The front features the state seal and the year of statehood, while the reverse shows a golden beaver. That design dates back to 1925, and the flag remains one of the most collectible among US state flags for vexillology fans. 15. Oregon has a town named Boring. Yes, that's a real town name. Boring, Oregon sits near Portland and proudly embraces its unusual title. The town even partnered with Dull, Scotland, and Bland, Australia to celebrate their collectively dull-sounding names. They hold an annual Boring and Dull Day, proving that Oregonians have a sense of humor sharper than their weather forecasts. 14. The largest sea cave in the US. Along the coast near Florence, Oregon, lies the Sea Lion Caves, the largest sea cave in the United States. It stretches nearly 12 stories high inside, providing a natural cathedral for hundreds of stellar sea lions that rest there throughout the year. When you step inside, you can hear the echo of waves crashing and the deep bark of sea lions bouncing off the stone walls. Nature's own concert hall. 13. An airport carpet became a celebrity. Portland International Airport's original carpet wasn't just a floor covering. It became an unexpected cultural phenomenon. Installed decades ago, the teal geometric pattern caught the eyes of travelers who started photographing their feet on it, sharing the images with friends, and later on social media. Over time, the quirky carpet earned a cult following, symbolizing Portland's unique and playful character. People joked about walking Portland by stepping onto its repeating patterns, and it even inspired t-shirts, mugs, and other memorabilia. When the airport decided to replace the carpet in 2015, the outcry from locals and visitors alike was remarkable. Squares of the old carpet were sold as collector's items, with enthusiasts snapping them up as tangible memories of the city's whimsical charm. It's rare for something as ordinary as flooring to become iconic, but in Oregon, even the carpet can reflect the state's offbeat, creative, and deeply beloved personality. 12. A city that celebrates naked bike rides. Every summer, Portland hosts one of the world's largest world naked bike rides, attracting thousands of cyclists who ride through the city, legally and with body paint galore. The event promotes body positivity and environmental awareness, though it's also pure spectacle. Few places embrace Keep Portland Weird more literally than this. 11. Volcanoes galore. Oregon is part of the Pacific Ring of Fire and home to over 30 potentially active volcanoes, including Mount Hood, Mount Jefferson, and the Three Sisters. The volcanic soils from these peaks make the region incredibly fertile for farming and vineyards. So if you've ever enjoyed Oregon wine, you can thank ancient eruptions for enriching the land. Before we get to the 10 facts that corroborate what I told you at the beginning, remember to subscribe to the channel and give it a like to become experts in American geography. 10. An evergreen wonderland. More than half of Oregon is covered in forest, around 30 million acres of it. From Douglas firs and ponderosa pines to coastal spruces, the state's greenery contributes to its nickname, the Beaver State. The sheer density of trees makes Oregon one of the largest timber producers in the country, though conservation has become a top priority in recent decades. 9. A giant meteorite on display. The Willamette meteorite, weighing 15.5 tons, is the largest ever found in the United States and the 6th largest in the world. It was discovered in Oregon and is now displayed at the American Museum of Natural History in New York. Scientists believe it landed thousands of years ago, carried into the region by glacial floods. Its nickel iron composition tells a story billions of years old. 8. You can ski all year long. Thanks to Mount Hood's Palmer Snowfield, Oregon offers the only year-round lift-serve skiing in North America. That means even in July or August, you can hit the slopes. Professional ski teams from across the globe come here during the off-season to train. It's surreal to ski in shorts while wildflowers bloom just below the snow line. 7. Oregon has a volcano observatory. The U.S. Geological Survey's Cascades Volcano Observatory in Vancouver, Washington, just across the river from Portland, monitors all of Oregon's active volcanoes. Scientists there keep a close eye on seismic activity, using the data to predict and prepare for future eruptions. In a state defined by volcanic history, that watchful eye is crucial. 6. The Oregon Trail isn't just a game. Even though we're skipping detailed history, it's worth noting that the famous Oregon Trail wasn't just a digital pioneer adventure. Modern-day Oregon still bears the actual wagon ruts in some areas, visible reminders of the long paths that shaped westward migration. They've even been preserved in state parks for visitors who want to walk alongside them. 5. The coast glows. Literally. Certain parts of the Oregon coast experience bioluminescence, where microorganisms in the water emit a natural blue-green glow when disturbed. On calm, dark nights near beaches like Cannon Beach or Newport, you might see glowing waves under your feet. It's one of the most magical and lesser-known natural displays in the Pacific Northwest. 4. Oregon has an active glacier on its state mountain. Mount Hood isn't just snow-covered, it hosts several glaciers, the largest being Elliott Glacier. But as these massive ice rivers supply meltwater to surrounding valleys, feeding rivers and maintaining ecosystems, it's a reminder that Oregon's alpine regions are alive, moving, and changing, even if you can't see it from afar. 3. The whale-watching capital of the Pacific Northwest. Depot Bay, Oregon, proudly claims to be the smallest navigable harbor in the world, and also one of the best places in North America to watch gray whales. Nearly 20,000 whales migrate along the coast each year. You can stand on the seawall in town and watch them surface just yards away. Locals joke that whale watching here is as easy as watching traffic lights elsewhere. 2. A lava castle beneath the surface. Oregon's terrain hides countless caves and lava tubes, but the most elaborate formations can be found in the Oregon Caves National Monument. And the marble caves formed when acidic water dissolved limestone over millions of years. Walking through them feels like exploring nature's underground cathedral, complete with stalactites and crystal shimmering walls. 1. The only state that's both a green dream and a volcanic frontier. When people think of Oregon, they picture misty forests, coffee shops, and hip cities. But beneath that peaceful image lies a dynamic living landscape shaped by lava, rain, and resilience. From ocean to desert, glacier to vineyard, Oregon is like 5 different worlds packed into one. It's no wonder so many people visit and decide to stay. It's hard not to fall in love with a place that has both surfboards and snowboards waiting for you in the same week. Now that you know these 50 facts about Oregon, tell us, now which one did you like the most, or which one surprised you the most? We'd love to read your opinion in the comments and see how many of us picked the same number. And something else many of us will probably agree on is watching the video I'm leaving on screen, because we all love sharing and learning interesting facts. And that's exactly what this video is all about. But before you watch it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give it a like. Otherwise, we might not see each other again.